Good evening, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and begin. And I'm going to start by saying good evening. This is the 26th meeting of the 73rd term of the Baltimore City Council is now called to order. Members of the council, due to us being in a virtual meeting, please note that I will recognize you by saying you have the floor. Once I recognize you, please state your name and then begin to speak. In lieu of the invocation this evening, I would ask members to join me in a brief moment of quiet reflection and prayer. And also before we do that, I just want to mention that our president left to represent us we had a terrible fire that happened today on West Stricker Street. And unfortunately, 3 firefighters didn't make it. And that's just the update. In short, a vacant house, a roof collapsed, and uh, basically fell on the firefighters. So as they were putting out the fire, that's just the short of what happened. Everything is still under investigation. And our president was called to represent us. So let's just take a brief moment of silence first, because we know that our firefighters in the city have a very hard job. A lot of times we have to remind people how difficult their job is in this city because of the problems we have with vacants. That's just one of the problems. They are brave public servants that work and protect our city every day. So let's just take a minute and have a quiet moment of silence and reflection before we begin. And then now we're going to have a moment, and if you have a flag before you or somewhere, quietly recite the pledge to the flag. Thank you. We had been scheduled to hear this evening from the Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture. Unfortunately, there was a last-minute change and they had to reschedule. We look forward to inviting them to joining us at another meeting in the near future. The clerk will call the roll of the members. Is the clerk here?
Madam
Can
Vice
you hear
President,
me?
muted.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can't hear Ms. Thompson.
Oh, Ms. Thompson, are you? Hello?
No, we can't hear you.
Okay, what I'm going to do, and while she is getting it together, do we have Matt on? Matt Stegman?
Yeah, Madam Vice President,
Oh,
I'd be happy to sub in here until Nikki's ready to go.
okay.
Give
Can
me
you
give me
call?
one moment to get my roster here.
Sure.
All right, thank you, Madam Vice President. President Mosby, Council Members Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos. Madam President, we have a quorum.
Thank you. We will now proceed with the adoption of the journal.
Thank you, Madam President. The journal of the January 10th, 2022 proceedings are on the council members' desks.
Without objection, the journal will be adopted. Hearing none, the journal is adopted. Communications from the mayor can be found beginning on page 2 of the agenda. We'll now turn to bills being introduced. The clerk will read the first bill.
City Council bill, can you hear me now?
Yes, hi,
Wonderful.
Nikki, thank you.
No problem. City Council Bill 22-0193, real property tax credit for energy conservation devices. For the purpose of granting a tax credit against the city real property tax imposed on a dwelling that uses a solar energy device or geothermal energy device, imposing certain qualifications for credit eligibility, providing for the amount and the administration of the credit, creating an annual limit on the amount of credits granted, requiring an annual report regarding the credit, and defining certain terms. Sponsor is Councilmember Bullock.
This bill has been assigned to the Ways and Means Committee, and thank you, Matt, for standing in until Nikki got back on. You can now find the consent calendar in section A at the back of the agenda. Is there a motion to move the consent calendar?
Madam Vice President.
Yes.
I think there's some co-sponsors, and if I could say a couple words when you get a chance.
Oh, I am so sorry.
I'd like to co-sponsor.
Sponsor Bullock. Look, I'm moving on. We have a co-sponsor, Councilman Conway. Any more co-sponsors at this time?
Pfeiffer. Burnett.
Ramos.
Councilman Glover,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ramos, was that a
Yes.
co-sponsor? And was it
Burnett.
someone? Who was that?
Burnett.
Councilman
Torrance as well.
Burnett and Councilman Torrance,
Cohen as well, please.
Councilman Cohen,
And McCray.
Councilman Cray, and
Schleifer.
add Councilman Schleifer, and add Councilwoman Middleton. Anyone else?
Dorsey.
Councilman Dorsey. I think that's the full council, if I'm not, oh, we didn't hear from Councilman Stokes, I believe. Okay, sponsor the bill, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you, Madam Vice President. Thank you to the colleagues, again, who co-sponsored the initial bill and are sponsoring this one as well. Just to let you know, the previous bill that was withdrawn is now being reintroduced, has some technical changes, and this version has been updated to incorporate edits recommended by law, also satisfy concerns of finance. And so definitely want to thank you for your support and appeal to Chairman Costello and the Ways and Means Committee staff to schedule a hearing as soon as possible. We definitely want to provide this tax relief to our environmentally conscious residents. So again, thank you once more.
Thank you, and this bill has been assigned to the Ways and Means Committee.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I know you mentioned the entire council. I just wanted to note for the record, I haven't had a chance to review the bill yet, so I didn't sign on to co-sponsor, but I do look forward to working with my colleague from the 9th District and learning more about it in the very near future. So I just wanted to provide that clarification. Thank you, Madam Vice President and Councilman Block.
All right, thank you. Okay, moving on. You can find the consent calendar again in section A at the back of the agenda. Is there a motion to move the consent calendar?
Move.
So moved by
Second.
Councilman Glover and seconded by, was that
Conway.
Councilman Conway?
Yep.
All those in favor of approving the consent calendar, say aye.
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 Those opposed, say nay. The motion carries and the calendar is approved. We will now move to bills on second reader, and that will start with the Economic and Community Development Committee. And so I'm going to be playing two roles here. The first bill is bill number 21-0028R. and this bill was heard on January 11th, 2022. The committee approved technical amendments, which removes language identifying certain groups. I move the amendments.
Second.
There is, okay, there is a second. All those in favor adopting the committee amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. The amendments are adopted. And then I move the bill favorable as amended,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Ramos. All those in favor adopting the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. The resolution is adopted. Go ahead, Nikki. You wanna, I think you're supposed to say that next bill.
Yes, but I do have to read the last bill that we just voted. I have to read it in first.
I'm, okay.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine. Council Bill 21-0028R, informational hearing, Baltimore's plan for our neighbors experiencing homelessness and residing in hotels during the pandemic. That was 28R. On to the next one, Council Bill 21-0065R, investigative hearing, vacant residential properties, requirement for homeowners insurance.
Thank you. This bill was heard, this bill 21-0065R was heard on January 11th, 2022, and I move the bill favorable.
Second.
Second by Conway. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, thank you. All those opposed say nay. And the resolution is adopted. Health, Environment, and Technology Committee.
Council Bill 21-0075R, global warming solutions, carbon neutral city.
And I recognize Chairwoman McCray.
Thank you, Madam President. The Health, Environment, and Technology Committee held a hearing on the resolution on Wednesday, January the 19th, 2022. Committee amendments were distributed to my colleagues before this meeting. I move the amendments.
Second.
Second by Councilman Conway. All those in favor of adopting the committee amendment, say aye.
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 Those opposed, say nay. The amendments are adopted.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the resolution favorably as amended.
Second.
There's a second by Conway. All those in favor of adopting the resolution, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay. The resolution is adopted. Thank you, Councilwoman McCray. Next, the Rules and Oversight Committee. And I'd like, go ahead.
A 21-0071, Ramsey Harris, member, Affordable Housing Trust Fund Commission.
And I recognize Councilman Schleifer, Chair Schleifer.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President. The committee met on January 13th, 2022 to consider 3 nominations for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, and we'll be moving all of them favorable. So I'd like to move EA 21-0071, Ramsey Harris favorable.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Ramos. All those in favor of approving the nominations, say aye.
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 Those opposed, say nay. The nomination is approved.
EA 21-0072, C. Matthew Hill, member, Affordable Housing Trust Fund Commission.
I'd like to recognize Chairman Schleifer.
I'd like to move this nomination favorable.
Second.
Second by Councilman Conway. All those in favor of approving the nomination, say aye.
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 Those opposed, say nay. The nomination is approved.
A 21-0074, Catherine Stokes, member, Affordable Housing Trust Fund Commission.
I recognize Chairman Chair Schleifer,
Yeah, I'd like to move this nomination favorable.
is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
Second by Ramos. All those in favor of approving the nomination say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. The nomination is approved. We will now turn to bills on third reader for final passage. The clerk will read the bills and call the roll.
21-0106, study and report oversight of the Baltimore City Fire Department. President Middleton, Councilmember Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved.
1-0107, study and report operations of the Baltimore City Fire Department. President Middleton, Councilmember Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved.
21-0112, Charter Amendment, Supplemental Criminal Apprehension and Conviction Fund. President Middleton, Councilmember Cohen, McCray,
No.
Dorsey,
We recognize a no for Councilman Dorsey and Councilwoman McCray.
Conway, Schleifer, Torrance, Burnett,
No.
Bullock,
A no for Burnett, Councilman Burnett.
Bullock. Councilmember Porter is absent. Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved.
21-0164, Decennial Fire and Emergency Medical Services Redistricting Plan. President Middleton, Councilmember Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Chairs, when you hear your committee, please proceed with your committee announcements. The Economic and Community Development Committee has no announcements. Next, the Education, Workforce, and Youth.
Thank you, Madam President. The Education, Workforce and Youth Committee will hold the following hearings. Legislative Oversight, the 21-0017, Baltimore City Recreation and Parks. One moment, just went up. Recreation Parks, 2025 Strategic Plan for the purpose of inviting Director of Rec and Parks to update the City Council on the implementation of the department's 2025 Strategic Plan. Also on Thursday, that's Thursday, February the 3rd, 2022, beginning at 10 a.m. Legislative Oversight 22-0021, Baltimore City Public Schools, for the purpose of holding periodic hearings to review educational performance data for the Baltimore City schools and monitor the impact of pandemic on the progress of Blueprint for Success on the following dates: Thursday, February the 17th, 2022 at 10 a.m., Thursday, May the 19th, 2022 at 10 a.m., Thursday, August the 4th, 2022 at 10 a.m., and Thursday, November the 10th, 2022 at 10 a.m. Also, the Legislative Oversight 22-022, Office of Employment Development, Youth Works, for the purpose of holding periodic hearings to receive updates for the Office of Employment Development regarding workforce development strategies for Baltimore City on the following dates: Thursday, February 10th, 2022 at 10 a.m., Thursday, May the 12th, 2022 at 10 a.m., and Thursday, September the 8th, 2022 at 10 a.m. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Chairman Stokes. Next, we have the Health, Environment, and Technology Committee.
Thank you, Madam President. The Health, Environment, and Technology Committee will hold a hearing on LO 22-0023 Legislative Oversight Hearing 2021 Child Fatality Review Report on Wednesday, February 16, 2022 at 10 a.m. The hearing will be conducted virtually through WebEx. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairwoman McCray. Public Safety and Government Operations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Public Safety and Government Operations Committee will be meeting to hear Bill 22-0024, Baltimore Police Department Gun Trace Task Force Report on Wednesday, January 26, 2022 at 1 p.m. virtually, and is sponsored by myself, Councilmember Conway. Thank you. That's all we have.
Thank you, Chairman Conway. Rules and Legislative Oversight.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I have a bunch of announcements. The Rules and Legislative Oversight Committee will hold a hearing for Council Bill CC 21-0101 on Thursday, January 27th at 2 p.m., and that is a corrective bill. We will also hold a hearing on CC 21-0124 on Thursday, January 27th at 2:05 p.m., and that is a rules of interpretation bill. We'll hold a hearing EA 21-0075 on Thursday, January 27th at 2:10 for Daniel Billig, member of the Auctioneer Advisory Board. We'll hold a hearing EA 21-0076 on Thursday, January 27th at 2:11 p.m., and that is Jamar Brown, member for Retirement Savings Plan Board of Trustees. Next, EA 21-0077 on Thursday, January 27th at 2:12 p.m. Paul Cooper, member of Auctioneer Advisory Board. And EA 21-0078 on Thursday, January 27th at 2:13 p.m. Kevin Daniels, a member of the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Commission. EA 21-0079 on Thursday, January 27th at 2:14 p.m. Verdanine Kimball, member of Affordable Housing Trust Fund Commission. EA 21-0080 on Thursday, January 27th at 2:15 p.m. Robert Senemy, Budget Director for the Parking Authority of the Baltimore City Board of Directors. EA 21-0081 on Thursday, January 27th at 2:16 p.m. Ronaldo Evangela Sista, member of Community Relations Commission. EA 21-0082 Thursday, January 27th at 2:17 p.m. Mimi Forbes Beal, member of Community Relations Commission. EA 21-0083 Thursday, January 27th at 2:18 p.m. Yvette Litchi, member of Community Relations Commission. EA 21-0084 Thursday, January 27th at 2:19 p.m. Brianne Jones, member of Affordable Housing Trust Fund Commission. EA 21-0085 Thursday, January 27th at 2:20 p.m. Alexander Katzenberg, member of the Board of Fire Commissioners. EA 21-0086 on Thursday, January 27th at 2:21 p.m. Leland Shelton, member of the BMZA. And that concludes my announcements. Thank you, Madam Vice President.
Thank you, Chairman Cipher. Now we have the Ways and Means Committee.
Thank you, Madam President. Ways and Means Committee will hold a hearing on Tuesday, February 1st, 10 a.m. on Council Bill 21-0183, sale of property, WS South Hanover Street. Madam President, I move to suspend Rules 10-2 to announce a hearing.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended.
Thank you, Madam President. The Ways and Means Committee will hold a hearing on Tuesday, February 1st at 10:01 a.m. on Council Bill 22-0187, Supplementary General Fund Capital Appropriation, Department of Transportation in the amount of $18 million. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Chairman Costello. We move now to regular announcements. Members, please wait to be recognized to make any regular announcement. And again, I first of all just want to continue to give our prayers to the families of the 3 firefighters that have lost their lives. So we definitely will also include that in our ending moment of silence. Is there anyone else that has a regular announcement? Councilwoman Ramos, did you have two people you wanted to mention
Yeah.
something about? Okay.
Yes, yeah, thank you, Madam Vice President. Moment of silence request for Dexter Flowers, one of my constituents who passed recently from COVID. And I'm deeply sorry for I just want to, send my condolences to his wife and family. And also Lori Feinberg's husband, Mark Cello, has passed. And obviously he was a great member of our district and of our team. So I just wanted 2 moments of silence. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have a regular announcement?
I have a moment of silence, Madam President.
Yes, go ahead.
Clyde Johnson, who passed away, lived in the district. Also, Miss Carolyn Scruggs, whose mother name was Bernice Vaughn. She passed away. She was 106 years old. So we give a moment of silence to her. Also, former delegate Clarence Davis' mother passed away, and her name was Lola Mae Davis.
Lola Mae
Davis.
Okay.
And she was 102 years old.
Wow.
So we give a moment of silence to both of those families. Thank you.
And what was the name of the person?
Bernice Vaughn.
Vaughn. Okay.
Yes, that was the mother of Calvin Scruggs.
Okay,
Thank you.
you. Anyone else?
Yes, Madam President, just wanted to reiterate what you mentioned as far as firefighters. It did happen in our 9th district, and I just want to thank Chief Clark and Chief Ford just for constant communication. I know Mayor Scott was on the scene with us earlier today, as was City Administrator Shorter, and just multiple members of the fire department. It's something that's a huge tragedy for our city. But again, just the outpouring of love and support for the families at this time is just so appreciated, and just want to keep lifting them up in our prayers. So again, thank you for all that our firefighters do for our city in terms of facing danger on a day-to-day basis, and still just doing such great work for all of us, keeping us safe in Baltimore City.
Thank you, Councilman Bullock.
Madam Chair, can I just clear up something? That was Calvin Sr.'s mother-in-law, but that's his wife's mother, but that's Calvin and Carolyn's grandmother. So I just want to clear that up.
Okay.
Mrs. Vaughn.
Okay, thank you. The next meeting of the Baltimore City Council will be held on Monday, February 7th, 2022 at 5 p.m. At this time, we will recognize a moment of silence for the 22 victims of homicide this year, the over 1,250 Baltimoreans who have died from COVID-19 since the beginning of the pandemic, and a moment of silence for the 3 firefighters that have lost their lives in the duty of their job, and also Clyde Jones, a Mrs. Bernice Vaughn, Mark Cello, Dexter Flowers, and what was the last name? The Councilman
Clyde.
Stokes?
The guy Clyde is Clyde Johnson.
Clyde
Jones.
Johnson, and you had mentioned Clarence Davis's mother,
Oh, Lola Mae Davis.
Lola Mae Davis. Thank you. May we have a moment of silence? Thank you. There being no more further business, this concludes the 26th meeting of the 73rd term of the Baltimore City Council. Continue to be safe, and we love you, Baltimore.